Epstein's my boy, dude. Let's just be honest. Epstein was cool as fuck. There, I said it. Here's the thing. Everybody would say, I would never go. Me, Epstein Island, I would never. And it's like, dude, you're telling me. Jeffrey Epstein was probably so cool. Like, he was probably the coldest, coolest guy you know. You're telling me the coolest guy you know who knows everybody says, hey, we're going to go on my private jet to my private island. We got hot girls. He doesn't tell you how old they are. How fucking lame would you be? Are they 18? Like, who's going to be the nerd that asks that? You probably would just assume they are. Or that it's in international waters, so it doesn't matter, you know? But like, you're telling me you would automatically say, no. Like, you don't know what's going on. All everybody knew was that he was the coolest guy in town. The coolest guy in town says, hey, our party, it's going to be great. And you're like, wait a second. You pull them aside. Can I see their IDs? Like, no one would say that. So you could see, but look, but this is how he entrapped people, because this is how people are. This whole pedo thing, it's like, is it really pedophilia? I don't want to be the one that has to say it, but I guess I'm being forced to say it. It's not really pedophilia, okay? They weren't trafficking 5-year-olds. It was like they were technically not legal. Big difference, in my opinion. I know that's a controversial take, but that's not really the issue there, okay? The issue is not that they were barely legal teens, which is what it is. It's horrendous. It's awful. It's pedophilia. Okay, relax.
So let me get this straight. Let me see if I understand the logic. Nick Fuentes believes that politicians, they're not 45-year-old men that have common sense, that have a public image to maintain. They're not surrounded by staffers. They don't happen to have wives and relationships. They're pretty much like teenagers. They're kind of like 16-year-olds, dude bros. And Epstein comes along and they're like, dude. And Epstein goes like, why don't you come to my island to party? And I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. I know I'm the president of the United States and all reporters are on me, but yeah, I'm going to come. Why not? You know, are there any chicks there? And it's like, yes. Okay, so again, like in the mind of Nick Fuentes, that's how most modern politicians are. Like, they have no sense of self-control. They don't do any investigation. They don't understand what entrapment is. They don't know what blackmail is. They don't understand the consequences. Like, for them, hey, as long as it's international water, you know, I'm not going to ask any ID. Okay, perfect. So most of these politicians were just bamboozled. Right, like Jeffrey Epstein was the guy, and he just happened to have like a couple of barely legal girls, and these politicians just didn't know any better. Why is he judging Donald Trump then? Why is he not as charitable to Donald Trump as he is with Jeffrey Epstein? Why isn't he half as charitable with Donald Trump as if he is with Jeffrey Epstein? People are saying, if you're wondering how Nick Fuentes can simultaneously criticize Trump for not releasing the Epstein files, while at the same time selling Jeffrey Epstein merch, repost edits that make Epstein looks like a badass, it's because sadism and cruelty is the point of his movement. I don't think that sadism and cruelty is the point of his movement, but I do think like a lot of young men join radical online movements, whether they're like on the Christian right or on the woke left, specifically because they can partake in sadism without being called out. Like everything that has to do with cancel culture, everything that has to do with demeaning others, with attacking other people, is protected if you are in a movement like this, as long as you're doing it to the correct targets. And so I understand why some people join, right? Like the attraction of being sadistic is part of the joy. But I don't think that this is why Nick Fuentes is doing it. I don't think that Nick Fuentes himself is sadistic. I think he's being bought off. And Sargon of Akkad has finally come up to what I've been saying.
Unless you were part of a network that was designed to mislead people, right? I just don't understand what you'd say. It's not true, right? And then, again, coming back to a bunch of things. So I've seen a lot of people being like, there's something weird going on with the online right. Why is Nick Fuentes taking a 7-figure sponsorship from the company, the gold company that sponsors Mark Levin, because I'm absolutely certain that Nick Fuentes would have described that as a Jewish network. And so suddenly he's like, yeah, but 7 figures, multi-million-dollar sponsorship from that. And then you have like Tristan Tate being like, yeah, my girlfriend's Israeli. So, oh, is she? And suddenly, right, okay. I mean, again, I don't know, but this is what a lot of people are saying, as you can see by this going around. And it's like, but why are you guys ruining your own reputations in defense of Epstein?
Right? Like, here's the thing. I'm Eastern European. I don't give a fuck about having the moral high ground or being moral. I care about pragmatism a lot. And I usually look at context. And so if someone defends Jeffrey Epstein, I have to wonder, like, is he doing it because he wants to be a cheeky little shit? Is he doing it because he just wants to have ratings? Because let's be honest, you do that, you're going to get a lot of subscribers. Like, a lot of people are going to listen to you. It's also because it's hilarious. Like, people just don't expect anyone to do that. And so it's funny. People click in, right? However, if you're a person that wants to run a political movement, okay, fine. Like, maybe you're against political correctness and you want to show that you've been controversial before, you'll keep being controversial. You don't give a shit about political correctness, and the reason that you're defending Jeffrey Epstein isn't because, like, you care about Epstein, but it's because you want to show that you will never bow down to political correctness. And if you don't bow down to Epstein, you don't bow down to anything, right? You're the free speech warrior. Okay, like, that's one take, but how many times are you going to do it? Like, my brother in Christ, you do it once. Okay, fine, you do it twice. All right, you do it 3 times. Like, after a certain point, even the people that just joined because you're edgy are going to start wondering, what, is this guy, like, actually believing it? And the other thing is with the merch, right? Like, he is literally selling Jeffrey Epstein merch. What are the optics of that? Not for him, the seller, okay? Like, if he wants to be the humble water merchant, that's fine. But the people buying it, right? Like, if you actually buy a Jeffrey Epstein sweater and you go around wearing it, imagine if, like, a big chunk of the right-wing movement would actually do that. What are the optics? I'll tell you what the optics are. Do you remember when the San Francisco gay choir made the song "We're Coming for Their Children"? And it was also tongue-in-cheek, right? It was also funny. It was also... people didn't appreciate it. That's what the optics look like. If you were to have right-wingers going around with pedophile-associated paraphernalia, and they walk on the streets and everyone sees them, they're going to think that the right-wingers stand for pedophiles. It doesn't really matter, like, why the sweater exists. That, like, people aren't on the joke. And even the people that are aware of the joke, they will still push it the other way, because that's how politics work. And if you want to sabotage a movement, this is pretty much how you do it. Just, like, destroy the optics. Now, look, I understand that not everything is about optics. Like, sometimes you need to speak the truth, even if it looks bad. Wearing the sweater of a person like Jeffrey Epstein is not one of those things. Like, certain optical issues exist because of reasons. Others can be attacked. I don't think, like, defending the honor or trying to, I don't know, wear a sweater that Jeffrey Epstein wore is a savvy political play here. There's no pragmatism involved. This is... I don't even know why people would do it, to be honest. Like, it's just like a cult of personality. It's like the cult of Fuentes. Like, he says it's okay, so other people use it without thinking it. But more importantly, and this is what I want to talk about, I don't understand why people still say that Nick Fuentes is right-wing. I have made constant videos explaining that every single time, without exception, he shills for Democrats. Non-stop. He promotes Democrats. And I already said, I don't know what the next elections are going to be. I don't know who is going to run. But I know who Nick Fuentes is going to support. It's going to be the Democrats. And so look here.
For the Democrats to take the House, they subpoena and investigate Kristi Noem, Lauren, and Corey Lewandowski, and they find so much corruption. It's going to make the impeachments during Trump 1 look like a joke.
Okay, so I understand the point, all right? But, like, let me put it this way. How many times does he need to endorse Democrats until people say, okay, he's a Democrat? I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a Democrat, right? Like, if you want to be a Democrat, you can be a Democrat. But why do people say he's right-wing? He's obviously not. And you will say, well, yeah, but like he's got an issue here. It's corruption, or he's got an issue there. It's, I guess, like separately, every single time he has a point. But if we zoom out and you notice that he never supports any right-wingers ever, or at least like 90% of the time he doesn't, at which point can you say he's a leftist? Like, do you see leftists doing this? Like, do you see left-leaning people go around and say, oh yes, I can hardly wait for Republicans to take the House so that they can investigate Democrats? Like, here's the thing. This is not a bad position to be a Democrat. Like, you can be a Democrat and say, okay, well, I felt betrayed by the Republican Party, and so I want them punished. And then you support the Democrats. But you're a Democrat, right? Democrats do the same thing. Like, Tulsi Gabbard can say, yes, I think that the Democrat Party is bad. I will support the Republicans. And now she's a Republican. Like, doesn't it actually work this way? Like, if you vote for a party, if you want a party to win, then you become that party. Because, like, right now, Nick Fuentes, Destiny, Vosh, Hassan Piker are all on the same side. Like, they can literally just tour the United States, encouraging people to vote Democrat, because there's no disagreement there, right? Like, Hassan wants the Democrats to take the House. Nick Fuentes wants the Democrats to take the House. What's stopping them from joining forces? Like, they would be more effective, wouldn't they? I've been saying this for like 2 years. It's kind of funny to see how Sargon was initially talking about Nick Fuentes in a positive light, and now he finally reached where I'm at. I think that Sargon needs to live in Eastern Europe for a little bit. Okay, like once you understand pragmatism, cynicism, you start to see things a lot faster than they happen, right? Like you get to see them before everyone else. Still, you know, it took Sargon, I think, like at least 9 or 10 months for him to realize that Nick is controlled opposition. It's good that we're at this point. Wish we would have been at this point sooner, because I got a lot of criticism online. You know, people saying, oh, you don't understand. You haven't matured politically. Sargon matured politically. It's like, no, Sargon just looks at grifters and they think they're honest people. I'm not part of a high trust society. Like, the moment that I see someone going around claiming he's a right-winger and promoting Democrats, I will let it pass once, twice, but after a certain point, you gotta say, my brother in Christ, okay? Or someone that claims he's religious, very pious, and he doesn't have a family with 4 children by now. Like, what are you doing? Where's the kids? It's a legitimate concern, is it not? Right? Like people that are worried about birth rates. Where's your 4 kids? Why do I, who am not a religious person, why do I have more kids than you? Like, that doesn't make sense. Especially when you're at over the age of 30. Like, okay, if you're 20, 21, 22, sure. But like at a certain point, if you're coming to me and you're talking about the birth rates and you don't have at least 2 kids, why do I have more than you? I don't care about the birth rate, so like, why am I doing better? There's some grift going on. Like, the person genuinely doesn't believe his ideology. A person that believes that ideology, they live the way they preach. A person that likes video games, plays video games. A person that enjoys racing, they buy cars. A person that tells me they care about birth rates and they're not having kids, they don't really care about the birth rates, do they? Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.